Welcome to Dr. Mary Travel Best's 5 Steps to Solo Travel, a guide for women like you who need extra support traveling one woman at a time. Please share this with your friends. I appreciate your feedback and travel questions as I write another book about 90 days around the world and a workbook planner guide for women. In this episode, the FAQ is, when do I need a mask today? The destination is South Goa, India. Today's misstep, I left my credit card behind. And today's travel advice, get a massage. So the question, when do I need a mask in 2024? And the response, guidelines for wearing face masks vary depending on the current status of COVID-19 pandemic and local regulations, and it's good to stay informed about the latest guidance. The need to wear a face mask can depend on factors like the prevalence of COVID-19 in your community, the vaccination rates, and new variants. Guidelines may change in response to new data. It's common for health authorities to recommend wearing face masks in crowded indoor settings, in hospitals and healthcare offices, on public transportation, and in places where social distancing may be challenged. These recommendations may change, so keep checking back. And now, today's destination, South Goa, India. South Goa generally has a tropical climate, with the peak tourist season being from November to March, when the weather is more relaxed and dry. The monsoon season is from June to September. That's when heavy rainfall and some beach activities could be limited. I was there in early June, about 2 weeks too late for ocean swimming. I stayed in an Airbnb, and my host was downstairs and ran a beauty shop. Her boyfriend ran the nearby restaurant. I walked to pretty much everywhere while I was visiting. It was a slow pace, but I liked that. Now, South Goa is known for pristine and less crowded beaches than the northern part. I found the beaches dirty. It was monsoon season, so swimming was out of the question. Famous beaches include Palolem, Agonda, Kolva, and Benalem. I stayed near Bogamo Beach. It was laid back, had a local feel, and was close to the main Goa airport, Bogmalo. Careful of coconuts falling on you. The winds were strong. Palms plus coconuts were falling fast. I had to cover my head at times to make sure that I didn't get hit. Now, there are water sports. I didn't get to do them this time, but you can parasail, jet ski, and take a banana boat ride. And as far as food goes, I'm not that much of an expert, but I ate fresh fish and fruits every day. Now, I said it's noted for its beach, but there's some other things to do besides that. There's a wildlife sanctuary, there's waterfalls, basilica, churches, art museums, and the Naval Aviation Museum by the airport. One of the other things I did was have a lovely massage from Ranjini. She owns the shop with her husband. I had hoped to swim in the resort pool at the beach, but it was closed also due to the monsoons. Now, I mentioned the Aviation Museum. It was one of my favorite places in South Goa. And what you can do is you can go visit there too. It's just really close to the main airport. And I was able to see vintage aircraft and learned about the Indian naval air history. It's kind of funny, but some people walked up to me and wanted selfies. Of course, I said yes. And while I was there, the electricity went out, which meant that the air conditioning did too. So it didn't even go back on for another hour that I was there. So it got to be pretty hot. If you are going to South Goa, just look up the current status and accessibility. Conditions can change. But I did like South Goa. It was relaxing. I learned a lot about the culture, and they had much natural beauty. And now for today's misstep. I left my credit card behind. Well, who hasn't? The other day, I almost did it again. but the server reminded me to take it from the machine. So I did not forget it this time. But if you leave your credit card, contact the place you last used it and ask them to hold it. If you can't, you need to make contact to your credit card company. That way you won't be charged if anyone tries to make purchases on your account. And now for today's travel advice. Get a massage. I did in Goa at a local place that was one room, 1 block from the ocean near Bagmello Beach. Ranjini was the owner and even made me chai tea after the massage. It was a treat, especially after the stress of many days of travel in India with more ahead. While seeing the world, I had massages in Vietnam, Cambodia, India, and Turkey this summer. It made me happy to be kind to my body and soul. I want to bring meaning to your travels, so please send me any question you have about travel, or maybe you have a travel tip you want to send. You can sign up for my newsletter. Let's connect on a Facebook group or Instagram. You can also subscribe on YouTube, X, and other channels, and find the series 5 Steps to Solo Travel. There are 5 products on Amazon and also a webpage, 5stepstosolotravel.com. Show notes have more detail.
What's on your travel bucket list? Tell the doctor and her team of women who travel the world seeking the very best. Dr. Travel Best, that is.